I'm Bryce. I'm trying to get healthy. And so today I'm going to talk about my 1 month of quitting caffeine. I didn't say stopping caffeine 100%. I meant quitting, where I made the choice to quit caffeine, because as you'll find out, it doesn't go the way that you'd expect it to, or I'd expect it to. But to give you some context, I've been drinking energy drinks since I was 18. They're brand new to me. I remember I went and visited a friend at college, and he's like, "Oh, check this out! It's an energy drink. It's like a soda that's, times 50. It's crazy." And it was a Rockstar, that like classic black can with the gold Rockstar. And I was 18. I remember drinking that, and I was never like a huge caffeine person when I was like a little kid, or like when I was growing up. I wasn't like drinking tons of soda or anything, but when I had that Rockstar energy drink, I was hooked. Anyway, 34 now. Energy drinks got me through college. It basically got me through every job. It got me through everything. By this point, I had tried to quit a few times, but you kind of always come back to what you know. But yeah, 34 now. So I started when I was 18. Basically, had been drinking like miscellaneous caffeine, like sodas, whatever I could get my hands on. Got into like pre-workouts for a while, where that's just like tons of caffeine, but I was taking those pre-workouts as like, somebody would drink a cup of coffee. Drinking about 2 to 3 energy drinks a day. They got crazier later. I remember I was drinking like Monsters back in the day, like the regular black can, green label. I think it had 120 milligrams of caffeine. I was drinking 1 to 2 of those a day, and those have a lot of sugar in them. And I remember when I was, in my early 20s, my teeth started when I brushed my teeth, they'd be super sensitive. So I did the smart thing, what a smart person would do, and I went to the sugar-free energy drinks. So I'd be getting that blue or the black can with the blue label, but I loved Monsters like most of my 20s and drank a ton of them. Down the road, like Rockstar comes out with this, I think it's like it was 240 milligrams of caffeine energy drink. And I was like, great, instead of drinking 2 Monsters, I'll just drink 1 Rockstar. But, they sell, 2 for $4 or whatever. So I always had another one on me. So I'd end up drinking both. I could go through all the energy drinks that I tried, this whole time, but I loved energy drinks. Anyway, I don't love them now, but I loved them. And I went to my energy drink of choice was those white Rockstars, the Silver Ice. It's got, and they got their marketing on point. Like their cans are like textured, just having that texture of that can in your hand, and it was white. Nice silver accents, that kind of frosty color. And then anyway, yeah, kind of energy drinks, they kind of get in your head and get a little weird. Why I chose to stop drinking caffeine, energy drinks mostly, but caffeine, why I decided to eliminate it all, was because I was having a lot of really weird health problems that could get into it's for another video, but long story short, after trying to figure out what was wrong with me, I started doing a lot of research online and found adrenal fatigue. And I didn't know, I don't know nothing about the human body or nutrition or anything like that, but adrenal fatigue, that's going to be, I'll be doing a video on that, because that's something that I'm dealing with right now. But that was that's what made me make the conscious decision to actually quit drinking caffeine, because I've quit drinking caffeine numerous times, but it always came back. But now it was, I kind of had to, I kind of had hit rock bottom with caffeine. I know that sounds really weird, it's not it reminds me of that scene in Half Baked where he's like, "Oh, I'm addicted to marijuana," and they boo him off stage. But no, it's like caffeine, you can, adrenal fatigue is caused by a lot of things, but caffeine is definitely something that's not good for that. So let's get into it. It's been a month since I've had caffeine, and I wouldn't say a month, but it's been a month since I made the decision to stop drinking caffeine. Day 1, I went cold turkey, but the thing is the day before, I was like, oh, since I'm going to be quitting caffeine, I'm going to drink I think I drank 3 white rock stars, so silver ice rock stars, which is 240 milligrams of caffeine each, and I probably had maybe a Diet Coke or something somewhere in there. But anyway, a lot of caffeine. And that day, I didn't feel horrible. I felt just a little bit, tired and a little bit lethargic, but didn't drink, a rock star that day. Then day 2 rolled around. So I think the reason why I was able to get through day 1 is because I had so much caffeine in my system from the day before that my body was still okay. But by day 2, that caffeine was out of my system, and I can't really describe how terrible I feel. People detoxing off of drugs must feel this way, because just this ensuing sense of hopelessness, literally depression. I felt terrible, sad, angry, just these really weird feelings, and I could not stay awake if my life depended on it. Around 2 o'clock, I literally just laid down and just slept, and I think I slept until 6 or 7 at night, but I could not stay awake. And when I woke up, I had this headache. I've never had migraines or anything, but it must be something like this. But this headache was deep in my brain, and that's when I was I got stuff to do. I've got 3 kids. I'm married. My wife is thinking that I'm detoxing off of heroin over here on the couch, dealing with this completely different person that she doesn't know. And so I went to the 7-Eleven. I got I got the 2 for $4 rock stars, and I drank one. And it just, I still count this as when I chose to quit, because I had made the decision, but I quickly realized that it's not gonna be as easy as just going cold turkey on it. It's not. That's just, what I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't think, and I have to get things done. So I drank it that night. So day 3 rolls around, and what I decided to do in my head, I'm not a doctor or scientist. I don't know anything about the waiters, but I'm not a detox counselor. I don't know anything about this. So what I do is I take a measuring cup, I open this Rockstar up, and it's this is the beginning of day 3, by the way, and I measure out half of it. So it's a 16-ounce can. I poured out 8 ounces, and I just drank it. Headache, goes away. I feel okay. I feel okay. I don't feel horrible. I'm emotionally stable. I'm not super tired, but I'm tired, and I get through that day. So then the next day, what I do is I cut that in half. I go from the 8 ounces that I took the day before to 4 ounces. I do the 4 ounces and drink it, and I kind of have that same lethargic, not horrible, not like that second day. But what I'm doing is I'm just gradually stepping it down. Then the next day I do the same thing. I cut it from 4 ounces to 2 ounces. So yeah, I got down to 2 ounces, then I did 1 ounce, and still feeling a little lethargic. But yeah, that can ran out, and then I just stopped. So that first week, I was basically stepping it down, just taking it half the amount each day, and was feeling okay by that weekend, and just kind of drawn out feeling, kind of lethargic, sort of cloudy, but nothing crazy, nothing like that first day or the first 2 days. Second week rolls around, getting the work week started. I ended up doing, it's a shot glass full of cold brew. So through week 2, I ended up doing a shot glass, which is supposed to be 1 ounce or 1.5 ounces of cold brew. I think maybe twice, because I was really dragging. But I didn't want to go and get another full can of Rockstar or whatever, because then I just have I don't know, it's like an alcoholic having, booze in his fridge. It's like, I'm trying to quit, so let's not have this around. But yeah, so week 2, it's just kind of an overall lethargic feeling. Week 3, no caffeine, doing good. And now we're in week 4. It's sort of the same. I will say that that's kind of gone, like that lethargic feeling is it's going away. But some things I do want to touch on is just some things that I noticed during this month of not drinking caffeine compared to before. So the first thing is sleep. When I was drinking caffeine, like one reason why I started researching adrenal fatigue is because, I'd start every day I woke up, I felt horrible. Like when you feel hungover, like when you drink too much and you feel hungover, it's like I kind of just had this hungover feeling every single day. And so, but then what would happen is throughout the day, I would gain energy. Like then I'd be drinking my energy drinks or whatever, and I'd be more energized when I'm supposed to be going to sleep. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, like that's when I was like the most energetic. And all laws of nature say it should be the opposite. You should wake up feeling rejuvenated, and by the end of the day you should be feeling a little bit run down and tired from whatever activities you're doing that day. So that was one thing. In the first week, the first 2 weeks, I really noticed it is when I really got off the caffeine. So I think it was like the middle of the second week or so. I woke up feeling really energized. I didn't feel exhausted when I woke up, and I think that's how you're supposed to feel. I think that's like a normal feeling. So yeah, I felt more energy when I woke up. But what I've been experiencing lately through the whole month is I can't really sleep that well, and everything I've researched says that when you get off of caffeine, it actually disrupts your sleep. It would make more sense that you would sleep like a baby just because you don't have the stimulants going through your system anymore. But I don't know the science behind it, but it's kind of hard to fall asleep even though I am tired. It's hard to stay asleep, and even though I'm getting less sleep now, actually it's hard to say. I'm not getting full nights of rest now, but I'm feeling more energized than when I was drinking energy drinks to get my energy going during the day. So yeah, that's one thing is I'm still not so sure about sleep. I mean, I have young kids and they wake up at night. There's other things, so I'm not entirely sure, if it's all just caffeine withdrawals or what those side effects mean. But yeah, sleep, definitely feel more energized in the morning, so that's a good thing. Here's another thing I noticed is when I got off of caffeine, I was way hungrier. I craved sugar, carbs, chips, and I was just way hungrier during the day. I think caffeine suppresses appetite. Honestly, not a scientist, don't know anything, but I think it's what it does. But in my case, I was just really hungry, wanted to eat all day. Another thing I've noticed, just more relaxed than before, less high strung. When somebody cuts me off in traffic, I used to just be just you want to just yell, but I feel like I have a slight more buffer time to choose between how I want to react. I know that sounds strange, but it's just I feel like there's a little bit more emotional stability in the way I react to situations. But once again, the reason why I chose to quit drinking caffeine 100% is because of health reasons, because I was having some weird health things going on, and like I said, it sounds weird, but I hit caffeine rock bottom. So yeah, I'll probably be doing some different videos about adrenal fatigue and just my experience with it. Once again, I'm not qualified to talk about anything like that. I can just talk about my experiences. But what I will say is overall, this 1 month of not drinking the caffeine, I do feel better. I feel better. I've watched some videos online about people talking about how you're going to gain superpowers if you stop drinking caffeine. It's not really like that. It's It's pretty subtle. I just feel more relaxed. I feel a little bit healthier, happier. I've made other changes also in this time. Like, this channel is, trying to get healthy. So, there's other things I've been doing. So, I can't say it's all like the caffeine and stuff, but I just feel better. Just feel better in life. I mean, my whole life I've struggled with, anxiety, depression, stress. I mean, these are kind of normal things. And if you suffer, or if you struggle with that kind of thing and you're drinking a lot of caffeine or any caffeine, it might be something that you should just try and see if that changes anything, because caffeine, you don't want to mess with your adrenal glands. I don't know a whole lot about it, but just doing the research I've seen is like, you don't want to mess up those adrenals. With the release of cortisol, you need these things to run properly. Maybe consider cutting the caffeine out. Thanks for watching this video. If you're considering cutting out caffeine, I think, even if you think you feel okay, or you do feel okay, it's just, maybe challenge yourself to try it anyway and see if there are any changes. For me, I had to. I was gonna die. Like, I believe that. Adrenal fatigue is not recognized in the medical community, but something else called Addison's is, and that's basically like a 90% plus shutdown of your adrenal glands, and that's life-threatening. So I'm not saying that that's caused by only drinking caffeine, but caffeine doesn't help. And I think in my case, I think it was almost, my adrenal fatigue was almost caused 100% by my caffeine intake. I believe that I'm caffeine sensitive too at the same time. So, a lot of, knowing how to help yourself is knowing yourself and trying to figure those things out. I'm not a doctor. I'm just some guy. Thanks for watching.